Hello geometry students. I am looking at Unit 3, Parallel and Perpendicular Lines, Homework 6, Slope-Intercept Form and Standard Form for Mr. Fry. Now let's get into it. I'm going to mostly look at the odd ones. So what we're going to do is first write the equation of the graph in slope-intercept form. I'm going to figure out my slope here. My slope, I go down 6 over 2 from this point to this point where they make these intersections. And so it's going to be down 6 over 2, x, that's my slope. And this is my y-intercept, plus 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where it's crossing the y-axis. That's my y-intercept. This negative 6 over 2 could be, you could just work this out, 6 divided by 2, it ends up being 3, so it's actually y equals negative 3x plus 4. You notice that you can go down 3 over 1, 1, 2, 3 over 1, and you're at a perfect intersection too, so 3 over 1 is 3. Okay, try 2 on your own. I did 3 and 4. 4 is, number 3 is going to be where y is negative 4 always. So that is y negative 4. And x, for number 4, x is always going to be 2. So it's x is 2 is the equation of that line. This is going to be no slope. And this is going to be called undefined. Whenever you see a vertical line, that's undefined. Wherever you see a horizontal line like that, that's no slope. Okay, we're to convert the equations from standard form to slope-intercept form. So all I did here was I subtracted 2x from both sides, and I didn't put my minus there, and subtracted 2x from both sides. Okay, and then what I did was I didn't put my minus there to begin with, so that shouldn't be a negative. Then I got rid of the negative on this side, so I had to get rid of the negatives, all change these signs over on this side. Remember, what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So it ends up being y equals 2x plus 7. This one I subtracted x from both sides. I ended up changing the sign on this side, so I had to change all the signs on this side. So it ends up being y equals x minus 1. Here I subtracted 8x from both sides, and then I divided everything by negative 10. Negative 8 over negative 10 becomes a 4 over 5. A negative over a negative becomes a positive. 20 divided by negative 10 makes this whole thing become minus 2. Take a look at number 11. Number 11, if I'm looking at whether or not these are perpendicular, parallel, or neither, taking a look at these, the slopes, first of all, they're opposite. One's positive, one's negative, and they're the inverse. 3 is actually 3 over 1, and 1/3, there it's flipped it, so it's the inverse, so opposite inverse, so I have perpendicular lines here for number 11. Number 13, and you could pause this as you move forward because I know I'm moving rapidly through it. We have to get the y by itself over on this side. And you could see me doing this over here. I subtracted 3x from both sides, then I divided everything by 2. This slope becomes negative 3 over 2, and this slope is negative 3 over 2 already. We didn't have to do anything to this one, and so they're the same slope. When they're the same slope, that means they're parallel. Number 15, what I did was I got y by itself on this side, and I got y by itself on this side, and you can see the process of me doing that. Notice that they're the opposite inverse. I have a positive, I have a negative, I have a 5, which is 5 over 1, and I have a 1/5. It's flipped, so that would be perpendicular. Number 17, I worked to get y by itself, dividing by negative 9, and so on and so forth. Here I subtracted 2x and then divided by negative 6. And notice that this slope becomes 1/3, this slope becomes 1/3. It's the same, so we're going to have parallel lines. For number 19, they try to throw a wrench in the whole thing, and here's what happens. If you have just an x value of -6, that means it's going to be from earlier, going to be a vertical line. This is going to be a horizontal line, no slope and vertical. So that means, yeah, they're going to be perpendicular. So number 20, when you get to 20, we have two horizontal lines. This one's going to be down at -4. This one's going to be up at 9. So, this one, your 9 is going to be like this. Down here, somewhere on a graph, it's going to be, like that. So you're going to have parallel lines. If this was my y-axis and this was my x-axis. Okay, that's supposed to be a y there. So that would be parallel lines. Number 21, taking a look at this one, I figured out my slope. It's down 5/4. So it's down, so I think I made a mistake. Down 5/4, so it's not D. It's not going to be D. The only one it's not A or B, because if you take a look at this, I'm going to move this 4 over here, and then it's going to be divided by 5, so it's going to be 4/5, and this would be 4/5 also. This one right here, if I start working it out, see this one I worked out, I forgot to put my negative here, it's going down, most important part. So it's actually going to be C is going to be my answer. Don't pay attention to this down here, because when I subtract 5x over on this side, I'm going to have a -5 divided by 4, so it's going to be -5/4 also. So C should be your answer for 21. All right. Okay, good luck with all the even ones. If you make mistakes, go ahead. We learn from them, and it's okay as long as you learn from them. Good luck.